What is up, everyone? This week was a little weird trading. We are still pushing up higher into this daily order block, I believe, next week. But let's break down what happened this week and set up some projections for next week. So I did put an indicator on here to get the weekly highs and the monthly highs for 2 months. You can see the weeks here and the months here. We already blew through this month. We still got this monthly high up here. Got this order block. This one got filled. So, anyways, next week I believe we're gonna go into this and then come back down into this area. So let's dive in. So this is the E mini, and all we're doing is just extending out the week right here with these lines because they end at the week. So just extending last week's lines out. We never hit it, so we're kind of still in this range, which is fine. Again, this week was kind of weird with Thanksgiving and just the volume's not there. We are going into the end of the year, so things might not be as explosive, but we did have some movement. So what I'm starting to do now is also keep track of the midnight open for the week or the zero open, which is going to be right here. Price was underneath it, so Monday, Tuesday was accumulating for this expansion, and you could have got in on some buys here. But I'm also keeping track of the daily highs and lows. So when I look back over the week, you could kind of see the flow of price. Monday got taken out, Tuesday got taken out quickly, like literally the next day, because we ended on the high. Just came right back, tapped that out. Again, Wednesday got taken out. We have Thursday's high and we have Friday's high still. So I believe price, we're still going to push up into this, past this weekly premium into the order block. So we're going to keep an eye on that next week. And let's start doing some projections. So let's remove all the drawings, go back to the daily chart. So what I'm looking for is this area right here. And I'm going to start doing my order blocks in rectangle. So that way I get that entire bar plus the wick. So let me just save this real quick. All right, so I'm just transitioning all my lines over into the rectangle tool so that way we could get the full range and not just the start of the range. So this order block right here on the daily chart is where I'm focusing next week. So I believe early week we're going to get in here and then start pulling back into this area. And then we also have this one down here we'll keep our eyes on as well. So I believe we're going up first and we're going to pull back down into this range. That is my bias for next week. As we're going through these weekly projections and market reviews, I'm going to start simplifying them to keep the charts clean and have it exactly how I like to keep it. So I replaced my lines with this indicator so that automatically calculates for me. We got the past 2 months here. We got September, October, and we got the past 2 weeks of November. And once next week opens, this will slide down to here. We got these 2 order blocks. Now, if you look on the scale, liquidity voids, we go in this order. This is how we're looking for price to react. So these order blocks are kind of low on the list, but because of this giant liquidity void in here, we did fill it up this week. So the last thing I'm looking for to hit is this order block, or we go all the way up to the monthly high if we're still extremely bullish. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart and let's zoom in and see what are some immediate areas we could hit. Well, we could hit this weekly high since we did not hit it this week. So let's put that there. Let's do a weekly premium. Just so we know that's what we're looking for. I don't know. I'll have to, if I'm zoomed in on like the 4 or the 15-minute chart, I'm not going to see these blue lines. So let's extend that. And then also same with this, the the low of last week. So let's do the weekly discount. Okay. And then I do see this fair value gap right here. I do want to mark up. So from this wick to this wick, we do got a fair value gap. So early in the week, I'm looking for price come up here and then set up to take a sell down to here. We'll see what price does in this area if we break through. Ultimately, I think somewhere down here we're going to end up. But because we're at the end of the year, I'm not sure how many big explosive moves we're going to get. So we might have some of these little ranges. So it might take a week or two to carry on. So let's delete that drawing. We also do have this mitigation block right here. Right here. It actually kind of lines up perfectly with the fair value gap. So I haven't made it in a rectangle yet. We do have it as a line. So let me transition this over real quick. So this wick right here, usually I draw a line at the wick or the body. So the reason why I switched it over to a rectangle is so we could just shade in that entire area from the wick to the start of that body. And because of the fair value gap, to me, that's like a magnet. These two zones are magnets for price. So if we don't punch up to this fair value gap and we just take out the weekly and then come back down, that's a highly likely move. So I did have that fair value gap, or the sorry, not the fair value gap, the order block up here for reference, just in case it passes and it keeps going. We know why. But more than likely, I think we're going to take out the weekly and then come down to the zone for sure, if not lower. All right, last time frame, the 1 hour. We're going to leave the mitigation block and the fair value gap here. Tighten it up a little bit. And we're going to draw out Friday's high and low. All right, so that's all I'm doing for this markup. You guys already know my bias. We have these first zones to break. Then we got the weekly zone to break, as well as these, which I believe price will drop to. So that is E-mini for me. That is what I'm looking for. If you guys are seeing something else in the charts, go ahead and comment that down below. Let's see what your projections are for next week, or if you kind of have a similar setup and bias. Yeah, definitely want to hear about that. So let's move over to EU. Just kind of go to the 4 hour real quick and kind of get an overview. Same thing. You see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's low not taken out, but Thursday's was. So we do have the Friday now. To both be taken out on both sides, as well as that Thursday high, which will go into that weekly. We'll take out Thursday's high. We'll delete these. Not too worried about these anymore. Or the week open. Or that Wednesday high. So we'll keep these here. I don't care about the weekly low, though, because we already took that out right away before we expanded to the upside. So very similar. I believe we're going to go up and then drop back down. So let's go to the daily and do some observations. Take out this order block because now we have our new order block that we use. Like I was saying, in importance is by the number. So number 1 is what we're looking for first, which we already reached there. It would be right in here. So we're already there. Price rejected, it came back. So I think we're going to the order block now. Definitely got to take out those weekly premiums. We do got some news, some big news. That's on the 30th and the 1st. What do we got? Okay, so price could whip around, and that kind of, I think we're going to take out liquidity, and then it's going to push down into these areas. So again, let's mark up that fair value gap. We're going to mark up the order block. which that one I'm not too concerned about. This one, to me, stands out a little more. And we do have that other fair value gap right here. That's right at that weekly low as well. So this zone looks like it wants to be targeted. We got the weekly low to take out. Fair value gap with this order block down here to hit. So with this news, we could definitely whip down there. Overall, I am bullish. I just would like to see price come back and then push back up. All right, let's go down to the 4 hour. Anything I'm looking at. We do have that fair value gap down here, which could line up. And because we're overlapping, I'm going to edit this to show the daily. Okay. We do have this giant order block down here on the hour or the 4 hour as well. And for me, that's enough markups. I don't want to keep the chart any more busy than that. These are some hot zones I'll be keeping an eye on, and I would like price to go to. Like I said, I believe we're going to go up first and back down, very similar to the E-mini. And now down to the 1 hour, you can see price likely take out these highs. They're pretty equal right here. I think we're going to push up, take the highs, and then drop off. That is my bias for the week. And I hope you guys stay safe out there. Like I said, we are coming into the end of the year, so be cautious with trading and just keep an eye out on movements. Get your money, get out of the market. Don't try to hit some home runs. Let's end the year strong. Get your money and move on. So that's the EU and E-mini for you guys. I am starting to play around with the GJ in the Asian London Open area. But I'm not ready to break that down for you guys yet. It's just something I'm practicing with. So once we get that down, I'll be more comfortable calling out the week and looking how price reacts to certain zones and why it moves. So we'll look at that in the future. So happy trading. Don't forget to click that thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next week. Peace.